Okay. So guys, this week it's our last week of basic two, no? So this is our last week of this level. You have most of you have completed most of the activities of this level. So you have come until the week number 12, which is something difficult. I congratulate you because it's something difficult to arrive until this point because it's 3 months, 3 months continuously advancing and doing activities and sending checkpoints and all of that, and you have done it very well. So I really want to congratulate you guys for that. Okay. So super well done. It's a really good job. Now, this week we're going to start a topic which is not difficult, but it requires a lot of attention. Ready? To start with the topic, well, the name of the topic is report speech. Probably you have listened about report speech, but if not, we are going to talk about this week, all the week, about the same topic. So don't worry, okay? The first thing that I want you to do is this. Check your cell phone and find out what was the last message that you received and the last one that you sent on WhatsApp, on Telegram, or whatever you want. Find an application. Usually we use, of course, WhatsApp, right? And find the last message that you received in your cell phone and also the last message that you sent. Yeah. For example, in my case, the last message that I received was from my brother. Of course, it was for me or to me. And the message was, don't arrive too late tonight. That was the message of my brother. And the other one, I sent it because it's the last that I sent it to my boss. And what I was telling my boss it was, I am feeling a little sick, so I can work like that. This is an example, of course, it's not real. But imagine that this is my last message. No, I am feeling a little sick. I cannot work like that. Right? So, guys, I want you to check out your cell phones and find one. Probably the one that you sent or the one that you received. One. Tell me who sent it, who received it, and what is the message.
I have one.
Mhm.
Maybe from my husband to me. And I said, I am serving the food or I am preparing the food.
Okay.
Don't be late.
Okay, very good. I'm serving food, so don't be late. He texted to you.
Yes,
Okay, perfect. So this was, what is the name of your husband, Lau?
Camilo.
Camilo. So this was Camilo, right? And this was Laura. She received the message, right? Muy
No,
bien.
he.
Ah,
Sorry.
sorry, you sent the message to him.
Yes,
Ah, okay, so it's the
from
opposite.
me to he.
Excellent. So this is Laura. Yes, Laura sent the message. And Camilo, he received the message, right? So, muy bien. Thank you, Lau. Very good. Cami, Nico, do you have any other? Probably that you sent it or probably that you received. No problem. In WhatsApp. Yeah.
Be the task of the day in my work. I'm I need that files in the afternoon. Don't forget to finish that.
Good, good. In the afternoon, don't forget to finish it. Nico, if you said file, that is just one, would be that. If it's files, plural, sería those files. Ya depende si es one file or two or many files, right? Okay. Don't forget to finish. Muy bien, Nico. Thank you so much. Ready? Camilo, do you have one, my friend?
Hello, teacher.
Hello, my.
In my case, I sent the message.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hmm, I arrived to my was at home, yeah,
Uh-huh. I arrived
and
at home.
yeah.
Who do you send
In
it
the
to?
other message, in the next message,
Okay.
I brought how about you?
I brought what?
How in a question. How
Ah,
about
how
you?
about you? Good, good, good. Got it,
Yeah,
got it, got it. Sorry. How about you? Perfect, Nico. Who do you send this message to? Do you send it to your girlfriend, to your wife, to your mother, to your brother,
to my girlfriend, teacher.
to your girlfriend? Okay, thank you so much. So this is Camilo, right? And this is Camilo's girlfriend. Ready? Perfect. Should receive the message. In this case, this is Nicolas' boss. And Nico, is your boss a woman or a man?
Bueno.
Oh, it's a woman, so it's a she, right? This is Camilo's boss, and sorry, Nicolas' boss, and this is Nicolas, right? Guys, in this case, when we talk about report speech, what we're going to do is exactly this, report, yeah? Report what other people said in a different moment, yeah? For example, here, we're not talking about something that we said, but we're talking about something that especially Laura told, but told to her husband, to Camilo, right? In a different moment, probably yesterday or probably earlier today. It was like that. Or for example, in this case, we're talking about the information or the statement that Nicolas' boss told him, but it was in the afternoon. It was not right now. So when we mention about report speech is repeating what other people said before. Yeah. Only that in that case, we're going to have to use a different structure. Okay. The first thing that we have to do is to recognize what is the message for. What is the intention of the message? Now, when we talk about intention of the message, we can have three different intentions. Ready? The first one and more basic, it's going to be instruct. Instruct or order something. It means that this message is an imperative sentence. Sorry. It's an imperative sentence. Ready? The imperative sentence is going to be conformed only by verb and complement, and it's an instruction or an order. For example, come quickly. Because, for example, Laura was serving the food, so she told to Camilo, hey, come quickly because I'm serving the food, right? This is an imperative. It's only come and quickly, verb and complement, no more. And it's a message that is looking forward, it's looking for give an instruction. Hey, Camilo, rápido, quickly, come quickly because we're about to eat. So she's giving an instruction to her husband, right? For example, in this case, we have also negative instructions like Nicholas' boss told him, hey, don't forget to finish. Yeah. And it starts, if it's negative, it's going to start with a don't plus the verb infinitive. Don't forget to finish the report or to finish the file, right? It was an order. Hey, don't forget it, right? On the other case, the second intention is simply transmitting information, right? Transmit information. In that case, I don't want to ask or order anything. I don't want to order anything. I just want to transmit information. Yes? And that transmission of information is done through an statement. Statement, right? An statement is a sentence which is going to transmit some information. For example, Camilo said, hey, dear, I arrived at home. In that sentence, Camilo is not ordering anything or is not giving any instruction. He is simply telling an information that he arrived home. That sentence, when we talk about an statement, it's composed by subject, verb, and complement. In that case, we include a subject. And the verb, it's going to have a tense. In this case, it's past. Here, when we have an imperative, the verb is always in infinitive form, o sea, en la forma base. Come, forget, without change. Here, it can change because it have a different tense. Puede tener un tiempo, so I can conjugate it with a different structure. Ready? And on the third intention, we have affirmative sentences, these two, right? And the last intention is asking information. So, of course, in this case, asking information, well, it's going to be simply a question, right? But the question can be in two different ways. It can be a WH question, like for example, Camilo's question, hey, how about you? How about you? That's a WH question. Or a yes, no question. Like for example, I don't know, a different question like, did you arrive home? Did you get home? That question, it's a yes or no question. So in total are four intentions, simply that we are here having one imperative, which is an order or an instruction, one statement, which is transmitting information, and two different questions, WH questions or yes or no questions. But in terms of intentions, there are three: giving an order, transmitting instruction, and asking information. Okay? Those are the three different types of information that we use when we speak with other people. Now, when we are going to repeat the information of other people, we have the kind of information, great. But we have to check other different things. Let me just write down here the messages that you told me. The first message was, wait a second. We are here, having here. Okay, so we said come. No, it was not come quickly. Sorry, it was I am serving food. It was Laura's telling her husband, I am serving food. What was the second part, Laura? Sorry.
Don't be late.
Don't be late. Thank you. Yes, don't be late. Excellent. Right? That was the first message. It was from Laura to her husband. Then Nicholas' boss told him, I need those files for this afternoon. Don't forget to finish them. Great. And finally, Nicholas texts to his girlfriend, like, I arrived home, comma, what about you? Right? That was their message. So here we have three different messages. Ready? We already have the most important part, the information that I want to transmit or that I want to repeat. But in this case, there is one thing that is more important, and it's the subject of the sentence. When we talk about report speech, give me 1 second. When we talk about report speech, we are going to have three subjects in the sentence. The subject number one is the person who said the message. Look, this is the subject number one. The person who said the message in the first place, right? And the subject number two is the person who listens the message first, right? Then we have the subject number three. The subject number three is the person who repeats the information in the first instruction. So the subject number one has a conversation with the subject number two in the first part. Then the subject number three repeats that conversation, right? Now, in this case, we have three different subjects, but also we have three different situations. In this case, for example, in the situation A, the three subjects are different. Look, the subject number one, it's me. the subject number 2, supposing this is, let's say, Nico. ¿Cierto? This is me, this is Nico, and the subject number 3 is Camilo. Supposing that he looks like that, of course, ¿no? Entonces, it's 3 different people. Entonces, Camilo dice, sí, of course, es que el profe le dijo a Nicolás, right? He is repeating a conversation in which he is not included. So he has to use he told him, or he told Nicolás, or the teacher told Nicolás, or the teacher told him. Yes, there are going to be many different combinations. In the situation B, the person that reports or that repeats the information is the same person who said the information. So while in this case, he says, he told Nico, for example, he told Nico, ¿cierto? In this case, I am going to be the same person who reports the information. Le digo, es que yo le dije a Nico. So in that case, it's not going to be he, but I told Nico. I am repeating my same information, my same conversation. Yo estoy repitiendo mi propia conversación, right? So in that case, yeah. Yo le dije que, cha, right? That's the way. Or the situation C, in the situation C, in which the person who listens the information is the same person who repeats the information. Now, in that case, it's not going to be yo le dije a, sino tal persona me dijo a mí. So that in that case, for example, would be he told. Ready? So guys, in this case, we are going to have 3 different subjects, but we have also to check out who is speaking, who is listening, and who is repeating the information. Ready? Who is speaking, who is listening, and who is repeating the information. For example, in this case, the person who said the information was Laura. Laura is the subject number 1 in this case, right? And who is the subject number 2? Who is the subject number 2 in this case? Who was
Camilo.
listening the information? Sorry?
Camilo.
Camilo, very good. He was the subject number 2, right? Because he was the person who listened the information. Now, who is repeating the conversation? Laura herself. Yeah, this is Laura again. So that's why Laura says, que yo le dije, I am serving the food, don't be late. Because she's repeating her own conversation. Ella está repitiendo su propia invitación, su propia conversación, right? In this case, for example, Nico, what is the name of your boss?
Sandra, teacher.
Sandra, good. So in this case, Sandra is our subject number 1 because she was the person who gave the information. The subject number 2, it's Nico because he was the person who listened the information. But in this case, I am repeating the information. Yo les estoy contando lo que me contó Nico, right? So in that case, I am going to have 3 different subjects, yes? Otra persona diferente repite la información diferente a los dos que estaban incluidos en la conversación, right? And for example, here, yes, so this is Camilo. ¿Cierto? This is Camilo, which is the subject number 1 because he said the information. Yeah. Camilo, what is the name of your girlfriend, my friend?
Jennifer, teacher.
Jennifer, good. So Jennifer is the second subject here. Let's go to Jen. Okay, that's it, right? If Jennifer was repeating her own information, we can say, okay, Jennifer is repeating the information. Entonces, for example, this first situation, it's the situation B, right? In which the subject number 1 is the same subject number 3 because it's repeating her own information. This situation is the situation A, in which we have 3 different people. Subject number 1, subject number 2, and subject number 3, and all of them are different. And this is the situation C, right? In which we have the subject number 1 and the subject number 2, and the same subject number 2 is the person who is repeating the information. Que me dijeron a mí que cha, right? Esto parece algo irrelevante, pero es muy importante. Es muy importante saber quién lo dijo, quién lo escuchó y quién lo está repitiendo. ¿Listo? Ya vamos a ver por qué. Sorry. Pero es muy importante tener en cuenta eso. ¿Quién lo dijo y quién lo escuchó? ¿Ok? Ay, my God, sorry. So, hasta ahí, guys, ¿cómo van? Clear questions with this part, difficulties. ¿Sí está claro esta parte de quién habló y quién escuchó?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good, guys. So, if that is clear, we are going to pass to the next step. The next step is, ahora sí, checking out what information do we have? What kind of information do we have? Today, we're going to focus on the affirmative sentences. So we're going to learn how to report a imperative and how to report an statement, right? So the first part in both cases, it's using the subject number one. Who said the information? Who was the person who said the information? Yes, in both cases. Subject number one. And then we're going to use the reporting verb, el verbo de reporte. The reporting verb, we have a lot, but initially we're going to have three. Said, dijo, told, also dijo, pero con un sujeto. Me dijo, le dijo, nos dijo, right? And asked, which I know it's preguntar, pero también es pedir. Entonces, me pidió, nos pidió, right? Cuando hablamos de imperative, recuerden que hablamos de una orden o una instrucción. So, for example, the instruction could be, don't arrive late. That was Laura's request to Camilo, right? So it's don't arrive late, right? Or let's say come quickly, which is basically the same, come quickly, right? Remember, it's only a verb in infinitive and a complement. O si es negativo, don't, verb and infinitive. So it's verb and infinitive and complement, nada más, right? So I'm going to use said, told, and ask. What is the difference? If I use said, I don't have to use the second subject or the subject number two. En cambio, if I use told or ask, it's necessary to include the subject number two. Yes? Entonces, for example, Laura told Camilo, ¿cierto? Ella le dijo a él. Laura told Camilo, right? To, we're going to use to every time that we report an imperative and then the imperative. So, for example, Laura told Camilo to come quickly. O Laura told Camilo, si es negativo sería not to, en el caso del reporte. Laura told Camilo not to arrive late. ¿Cierto? Ready? Another example. For example, no sé, let's see. Camilo arrived to his house, right? And he texts to Jennifer, Jennifer, open the door for me. Sorry, open the door. Yeah, imagine that Camilo didn't have keys, so he has to text it. Open the door. Yes. So how can you report? Remember that the subject number one is Camilo and the subject number two is Jennifer. How can you report that sentence?
Camilo asked Jennifer open the door.
To open the
To
door.
open the door. To
Exactly.
open the door.
Very good. So,
Teacher,
yes,
a question.
of course.
Can I say Laura said to Camilo?
Ahí va la cuestión. So, when I use said, it's not necessary to include the subject number two. Ready? It's possible if I want to include it, I can say to Camilo to ta ta ta. But it's not necessary. In that case, it's better to use told and the subject number two. If I use said, it's when I give a general instruction. For example, in the class, I told to all my students, open the book in the page 31. Entonces Nico te pregunta, ¿qué dijo? What did the teacher say? So you said, the teacher set to open the book in the page 31. I didn't tell you specifically. I told everybody. So it's better in that case when it's not to a specific person, but in general, it's better to use said. Simplemente dijo que abriéramos la página, pero no me dijo, ni te dijo, sino en general. When I use said, it's more general. I don't have a specific subject, but when I have the specific subject, Laura le dijo a Camilo, right? So, Laura told Camilo. Because ahí sí voy a tener que usar un objeto después del told. ¿Ready? Claro, también se puede usar said y un objeto, pero en cuyo caso deberíamos incluir said to Camilo. Para no repetir el to, simplemente mejor uso told y el objeto. En vez de usar say to Camilo to come quickly. ¿Listo, Lau? Right? Yes?
Yes, thanks.
Listo. Nico, Camilo, ¿qué tal? ¿Sí está claro el uso de said? ¿La diferencia con los otros dos?
Yes, teacher, it's clear.
Yes. Listo, guys. Very good. Entonces, so, in that case, for example, the message of my brother was, don't arrive late tonight. ¿Cierto? That was the message, but the message was from him to me. My brother texts me that. My brother's name is Juan. So how can you report that sentence? You know the subject number one and you know the message. How can you put all together to report that message?
Juan told Leo, don't arrive late tonight.
Almost. Juan told Leo.
Not-
right?
Not to
Muy
not to
bien.
arrive late tonight.
Perfect. Not to arrive late tonight, because in that case, that is an statement. So if it's negative, an statement, not a request, sorry, an imperative. So if it's negative, we have it to put before not to, and then the sentence there, not to arrive late tonight, right? What about the sentence or the message from Sandra to Nicholas? Remember, the first part was, yes, I need the files for those, I need those files for this afternoon. But the second part was, don't forget to finish them. So how can you report that?
Sandra told Nicholas not to forget the file. I don't remember.
Not to forget to finish them, right? That was the
Okay, not to
message.
forget
Exactly.
to finish them.
Perfect. And that is the way that all of us would report it, except for Nicholas, because Nicholas was included into the message, right? In this case, me, I would say the same. Sandra told Nicholas not to forget to finish the reports, right? But Nico, how would you report the sentence? How would you report it?
Maybe Sandra asked me to finish the files
Exactly.
tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, in a way, the literal message was she asked me not to forget to finish the files. But notice that Nicholas changed it. So in that case, she asked me. So that is why learning who is speaking and who is listening is so important, because then the sentence, the report sentence, can be, for example, I told him, or different, he told me, right? Or I don't know, she told him, right? But why? Because I understand perfectly who is speaking and who is listening. That is essential, so I can report the sentence correctly. Now, of course, if I use said, it's not necessary. I simply said, okay, she said to finish the today. But When it's a specific person who receives the message, like in this case, right? So it's not possible. Well, it's possible, but it's not a good idea to use said because it's not specific. It's better to use told or ask, in which case I am very specific about the information. Okay? Guys, notice that in all these sentences, we have two different ideas. The first one, I am serving food. Or here, I need those files of, wait, sorry, I need those files for this afternoon. All of these sentences are simple statements. Information that I want to transmit, ¿cierto? Is an statement. It has a subject, it has a verb, and it has a complement. But in the second part, it said, don't be late. Don't forget to finish them. Those are going to be instructions, right? So they are going to be only verb, don't forget, or don't arrive, and the complement, right? In the case of Nicholas, of Camilo, he used first an statement, I arrived home, subject, verb, and complement, and then he used a question, yes, an interrogative sentence, right? So, con los request, con las órdenes, listo. So, she asked me to do that. She asked me not to do that. She told me to do that. She told me not to do that. Ready? When it's an statement, perdón, a request, sencillo. Ahora, now, when I am going to report a sentence that is an statement, for example, I arrived home. That sentence is a complete statement. It has subject, I arrived home. That is a complete statement. Yes. That sentence has a tense. Tiene un tiempo. In this case is simple past. Porque Nicolás dijo, perdón, Camilo dijo, ya llegué a la casa. O yo llegué a la casa. Esto tiene un tiempo. A diferencia de los requests, que eran en infinitivo. Haga tal cosa, haga tal otra, no haga tal cosa, no haga tal otra. Aquí tiene un tiempo determinado. En este caso, por ejemplo, es pasado. Ready? The initial part, it's basically the same. We have the subject number one and we have the subject number two. In this case, we don't use ask, no usamos ask porque no está ni preguntando ni está pidiendo, solo le está contando algo. Ahora, I can use said sin segundo sujeto o I can use told using the second subject. Example, my brother told me. O simplemente, si es una información al azar que no era para mí, my brother said. Y ya está, right? Notice that in that case, I don't use to. Aquí no uso to. Aquí uso that. Ready? ¿Por qué? Porque aquí yo digo, es que él me dijo que tal cosa. So, ese que tal cosa lo voy a introducir con that, aunque realmente es opcional. Yo recomiendo usarlo. Ready? I recommend to use it because it's better to identify that this is an statement. Okay? And then the subject, verb, and complement. Right? ¿Qué pasa? Aquí Nico me dijo, profe, es que yo le escribí que había llegado a la casa, ¿cierto? En el momento en que lo escribió en simple past, ¿cierto? Dijo a la novia, ya llegué a la casa. Pero cuando él me cuenta a mí, él no me dice, profe, yo le dije que ya llegué a la casa, sino que ya había llegado a la casa. ¿Por qué? Porque el momento en el que lo dijo es pasado con respecto a cuando me está contando, ¿cierto? Entonces, y esta parte tal vez es de lo más enredado que van a ver en en el report speech. Cuando voy a reportar un statement, una oración que tiene tiempo, ese verbo se tiene que devolver un tiempo. ¿Cómo así que devolver un tiempo? Es decir, que si el verbo original de la oración está en presente, yo lo reporto en pasado. Si este, por ejemplo, está en pasado, yo lo reporto en pasado perfecto. Si este está en presente continuo, yo lo reporto en pasado continuo. Si este está con can, yo lo reporto con could. Si este está con will, yo lo reporto ¿con qué lo reporto? Si está con will,
Good.
con would, muy bien. Entonces, puede ser un poquito enredado, pero créanme que realmente es sencillo. Lo más complicado es reportar el presente simple, porque pues es diferente entre el verb to be y los demás verbos. Pero de resto es muy sencillo. Les voy a dejar por aquí 20 segunditos, una tabla para que ustedes la fotografeen, le tomen fotico y miren que los cambios realmente son muy sencillitos, ¿vale? Entonces, de simple past, perdón, de simple present, paso a past simple. De present continuous a past continuous, de present perfect a past perfect, de simple past a past perfect. Digamos que el más enredado puede ser este simple past, que cuando lo reporto en pasado perfecto. Y de igual manera, el presente perfecto también lo reporto en pasado perfecto. De resto, los modales son muy sencillos. Will con would, can con could, may con might. Y must no tiene pasado, solo con had to. Y have to, pues normal con had. ¿Ready? Entonces, de pronto poner más atención en presente simple. Listo, en present simple y en simple past. Que present simple se devuelve a simple past y past simple se devuelve a past perfect. ¿Listo? Entonces, guys, for example, ¿dale tomar un fotico? Yes. Did you take picture to this part?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Listo,
Yes.
good. Excelente, excelente. Entonces, my dear guys, ejemplo, aquí voy a tener dos oraciones. La primera es un statement y la segunda es un request, igual acá. La primera es un statement, la segunda es un request, igual acá. La primera es un statement, la segunda es un request. ¿Cierto? Perdón, eso es un request, no es una pregunta. Entonces, esta de la pregunta la vamos a dejar volando hasta la clase del miércoles, creo, que es la segunda clase de esta semana, donde vamos a ver cómo reportar preguntas. Pero por el momento, just the first part, solo las primeras partes, solo la primera oración que había en ese mensaje. ¿Ready? Entonces, piensen quién lo dijo y piensen quién lo escuchó, quién le dijo a quién. Y ahora, ¿cuál fue la información que se dijo? ¿Ready? Entonces, piénsenlo, think about it, que él me dijo a mí que no sé qué, que yo le dije a él que bla, bla, bla. Think about it. Listo, guys. Entonces, vamos a hacer el de Laura first. We know that this information was given from Laura to Camilo. So, easy. We said, Laura told him. Of course, that him is Camilo. Laura told him that. Now, that after that, we have the sentence number one, which is, I am serving food. Yeah, this is I, it's Laura. So we said, Laura told him that she what?
That she served.
¿Qué tiempo es este, Laurita?
Continue. That she was serving.
Excellent, very good. The present continuous lo paso a past continuous. Laura told him that she was serving food. Excelente, muy bien. Laura told him that she was serving food, right? Siguiente, he said, Sandra uh, told this information to Nicholas. So we said, okay, she, how can you report that sentence?
She told him that she needed those files for this afternoon.
Excellent, very good. She told him, o sea, ella le dijo a él, Sandra to Nicholas, right? She told him that, in this case, is simple present, need. Okay, so simple past. She told him that she needed those files for, for this afternoon, ¿cierto? Listo, very good. And the last one. I arrived home. Cami, how could you report that sentence? ¿Cómo podrías repetir esa, my friend?
Mm, mm, mm. In third person, for example.
No, because it was you yourself. It was you.
Mm, entonces, no sé, pero es que no sé ahí. ¿Sería Jenny? No, pero
No,
no.
because she listened. So who said the information? Who said it?
Mm, em, ay,
Exactly. So I told whom?
to her.
Yeah, sin el tú. Solo I told her.
Okay, I told her that. Okay. Again, ¿no?
Ya aquí, el
Arrived
pasado
home.
lo tienes que pasar a pasado
I,
perfecto.
I
¿Cómo es pasado
was,
perfecto? Had y el verbo en past
yeah,
participle. Entonces, I told
arrived.
her that I had arrived. Yo le dije que
Mhm.
yo había llegado, that I had arrived home. Eso es todo. ¿Listo? Entonces, siempre fíjense quién lo dijo y quién lo escuchó. ¿Ready? Then, of course, sometimes it's necessary, dependiendo quién lo esté repitiendo, va a ser necesario cambiar digamos que la oración original, ¿cierto? En este caso, pues hubo necesidad de cambiarlo porque yo estaba repitiendo la información. Si Laura hubiera dicho la información, lo hubiera reportado, no había necesidad. Ella hubiera dicho, pues, profe, yo le dije, I told him that I was serving food. ¿Cierto? El sujeto era el mismo, pero como yo lo estaba repitiendo, yo sí tengo que cambiarlo. Y decir, ok, Laurita le dijo que ella estaba sirviendo la comida, right? So that's why sometimes it's necessary to change it. Dependiendo siempre quién lo esté repitiendo, dependiendo de la perspectiva, voy a tener que cambiarlo o no. ¿Qué tal? Más o menos ahí, ¿cómo van? How do you feel?
So we need some examples.
Of course, of course, of course. Listo, pero ¿qué tal en estructura? ¿Sí? Más o menos, all fine.
Fine.
Yes, teacher.
Listo, don't worry, we're going to check it out. Como les dije, puede que sea un poquito confuso al principio, pero es cuestión de práctica. Don't worry. Here. Entonces, for example, the message was from me, and I texted to my boss. I am feeling a little sick. Hasta ahí. I am feeling a little sick. Repórtenla, traten de reportarla. ¿Quién le dijo a quién? ¿Qué le dijeron?
That case, the worker report to her boss
Ujú.
that he said that he feel he felt a little sick and he can work.
Solo hasta sick, no worries. Ya ahorita les reportamos el segundo, pero la original es present continuous. Si fuera presente simple, sí queda that he felt, pero aquí es I am feeling. Entonces, the worker reported to the boss.
He was feeling sick, a little sick.
Exactly. That he was feeling a little sick. Ready? Claro, of course, si yo lo reporto con presente simple, pues se va a entender, pero idealmente cuando hablo de report speech es usar el mismo tiempo que usó en la oración original, aquella que estoy repitiendo. ¿Listo? La segunda, it says, I can't work like that. How can you report it? Otra vez desde el comienzo. I can't work like that.
The worker reported that he couldn't work like that.
Perfect, that's the way. So the worker puede ser reported, como reportó, yes, but I could say also told his boss, le dijo a su jefe, he told his boss that, o pueden omitir el that, pero pues mejor déjenlo ahí, that he couldn't, is the past of can't, ¿no? Is that he couldn't work like that. ¿Listo? Entonces, guys, cuando sea una oración en la que se transmite una información, no se está ordenando ni pidiendo nada, ni tampoco se está preguntando nada, o digamos que idealmente se va a transmitir una información, como a contar algo. En ese caso es cuando hago el cambio de tiempo. Si yo estoy ordenando algo o prohibiendo algo, en ese caso no hay necesidad de hacer el cambio de tiempo. Sin embargo, sí es importante. Wait a second. Ah, shoot. Sí es importante bueno, que cuando encuentren el tiempo, pues digamos que hagan el cambio si es necesario, pero es importante también que cuando encuentren la orden o la instrucción, pues lo usen correctamente, ¿no? Entonces, por ejemplo, the instruction was, don't arrive late. Ok, Laura told Camilo not to arrive late. And she told him she told him that she was serving the food. Como volver a iniciar, ¿sí? Separando las oraciones. Si es una oración afirmativa, de una negativa, separando las oraciones a través de la puntuación, de las comas, de los diferentes sujetos. ¿Listo? Como para saber exactamente hasta dónde va una oración y hasta dónde comienza la otra. Entonces, guys, example. Wait a second. Okay, that's it. So, for example, this is the conversation between a mother and his child. Let's say that the child is called Joe. This is the name of the child. Ready? This is the first information. It's the mother says, wake up now. Una idea. I am not going to take you to the school. Second idea. You can miss the bus. Third idea. So I have to separate them. I cannot report two ideas in the same report. Because, for example, this one, it's a request. ¿Cierto? It's an imperative. Mientras que this one, it's an statement. Como tienen estructuras diferentes, no las puedo unir. Right? Guys, how would you report the first part? How would you report the first sentence over here?
His mother told him that she um, she wasn't going to take him to the school.
That one is perfect, but it's the second sentence. No, this one. She told him that he was not going to take him to the school. Perfect. But what about the first one? Wake up now. How would be that one?
His mother told him that wake, walk
Almost, but
up.
this is
I
a
know.
imperative. Es algo
Hold on,
sencillo,
hold
tranqui,
on.
tranqui. So, it's an imperative. Reconoce primero que es un imperativo, no es un
I
statement.
told him to walk up now.
Exactly. She told him to wake up.
Wake.
Wake up, ¿cierto? En ese caso, now, digamos que hay que tener cuidado porque en el momento la mamá le dijo ahora, pero cuando tú lo reportas, tú no dices ahora, sino en ese
Wake.
momento, ¿right? Entonces, she told him to wake up in that moment, o immediately, por ejemplo, que se despertara inmediatamente, ¿right? Los adverbios de tiempo pueden cambiar ahí, ¿ah? Listo, la segunda ya la hiciste muy bien. She told him that she was not going to take him to the school. Excelente, Lau, very good. ¿Mm? Number 3, you can miss the bus.
She told him that he couldn't miss the bus.
Excelente. She told him that he couldn't miss the bus, right? So in that case, tengo que tener bien claro quién está hablando, quién está contestando, o quién está escuchando, perdón, y qué tipo de información le está dando. ¿Le está dando una orden? ¿Le está dando una instrucción? ¿Simplemente le está contando algo? Debo tenerlo muy en cuenta para saber si lo que estoy reportando es un request o es un state. ¿Listo? ¿Ready? Mañana seguimos
Profe,
con... Dime, yes, correct.
qué pena, qué pena.
Tranquilo.
She told me to, I know I'll woke up, no al pasado del verbo.
En este caso no, Lau, porque es infinitivo. Cuando estoy reportando request, el verbo no cambia, ¿sí? Porque aquí está en infinitivo y en el reporte queda igual en infinitivo. Cambia cuando
Como
es un
una orden.
Sí,
Ah, ok,
exacto,
ya,
exacto,
ya.
como una orden. Cuando es un
Sí.
statement, sí tiene un tiempo. Entonces, por ejemplo, acá yo puedo identificar que esto es presente perdón, esto es futuro. I am not going to take, ¿sí? Entonces ahí yo tengo que hacer el cambio. Pero acá, como está en infinitivo, así se queda, ¿sí?
Lo
Entonces,
dejé, listo.
she told him to wake up now. Bueno, to wake up immediately. ¿Listo? ¿Ready?
Listo, profe.
Excelente. Listo, guys. Tengan mucho cuidado cuando identifican las oraciones. Por ejemplo, esta, the first one. ¿Qué tipo de oración es esta? Don't mess with me. ¿Será una pregunta? ¿Será qué será?
Instruction, teacher.
Es an instruction, muy bien, es una prohibición realmente, esa es una instrucción, es una request negativa, ¿cierto? Le dice, hey, no te metas conmigo, don't mess with me. Y esta, I don't believe you, ¿sí será? Pues también tiene don't, ¿será que también es statement, request, perdón?
Sí, es una instrucción.
Es an instruction, yes, ¿todos de acuerdo? Miren.
O transmitir información.
Exacto, ¿sí? Miren que en este caso, aunque las dos usan don't, son oraciones diferentes. La primera es un request, es una instrucción. En cambio, la segunda está transmitiendo información, es un statement, ¿sí? Entonces, esto no tiene sujeto, va directamente al verbo. Don't mess with me. En cambio, la segunda dice, I don't believe you. Esa sí tiene un sujeto y está simplemente transmitiendo información. Entonces, es importantísimo que ustedes reconozcan bien la oración que van a reportar pues obviamente para saber si lo reporto como un statement, si lo reporto como un request, si lo reporto como una negativa, o qué es lo que tengo que hacer, ¿vale? Guys, ¿qué tal? Más o menos, questions, difficulties, problems.
Kind of.
Listo, tranquilos que este tema igual lo vamos a volver a ver más adelantico, es como una introducción al tema, porque pues es un tema que a veces se puede llegar a complicar, pero pues es una introducción, digamos que de una manera más cortica, ¿vale? Guys, ¿qué les iba a decir yo? Ah, no, nothing. Nos vemos el miércoles en la clase a las 7, again. Y ya, that's it. Have a good night. Thank you for the participation. Thank you for everything. And see you on Wednesday.
Thank you,
You
sir.
too, teacher. See
Have
you
a
on
good one.
Thank you,
Wednesday.
teacher, for all.
Bye, guys.
Bye
Have a good
bye. See you
night.
soon.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye.